First night spent in London, and now I'm sitting in the car driving to the city of London, to the heart, and having the first interview and the first clip. So I'm a little bit nervous because driving on the other side is quite tricky. Sabine, you know what? I need to be fully concentrated. Buckingham Palace. Good morning, Queen. Deutsche Bank. We have to make a picture later on. So this street, I have to go left. Today we will have a closer look at green and sustainable finance. Let's sort out how important they are. Someone who focuses on the topic ESG is Claire. Isn't it a real challenging job in these days?
It is a challenge. I mean, there's a lot of different touch points on regulatory side, client side, internally. So yeah, I mean, lots of different conversations going on and something I always need to stay on top of. So yes, very challenging, but fun.
What's the preferred letter for you? The E, the S, or the G? Which one do you take?
Which one do I choose? I'm going to have to take the E.
Then I give it to you.
Then I take that and I keep that. So I've chosen the E because I think it's the most critical topic we need to address right now. Not that the S or the G are not important, but for me, if we don't address the E, everything related to climate, biodiversity, sustainability, the S and the G become a lot less relevant.
Green bonds, sustainable investment, impact investment. I hear these words all day long, but how does it work?
So if you look at the green bond market alone, it's now a market which is over $1 trillion. So it's gone from 0 10 years ago to $1 trillion. It's multiplying very, very quickly because more and more investor flows are being redirected towards green purposes, green and social purposes. If you look at the broader market for ESG, it's said now that there's around 50 trillion or so of institutional capital flows which are directed towards ESG. That varies based on how investors are tailoring their investments in ESG.
So talking about the topic transformation, how can we help our clients that the allocation of the money will have the right flow?
Yeah, so let me speak about what the commitments we've signed up to early in the spring to be part of the Net Zero Banking Alliance. And it's part of a broader alliance where we've got now about 250 institutions and about 88 trillion of capital directed towards reducing decarbonization targets towards net zero. With that commitment, we've set specific targets for how our lending portfolio, or we will set specific targets for how our lending portfolio will go down.
Do you have a specific example for me?
I'll give you an example of an oil and gas company issuing a green bond. So when we arrange a financing and when our institutional investors invest in that bond, the proceeds are allocated towards specific green purposes, renewable projects, solar, wind. We then receive specific allocation reports from the client showing how the cash has been applied towards those projects.
So where are we now? What's the current state in the transformation?
I think for us and for many other banks, it's still very, very early stage. I mean, just to give you a very specific example, we are now starting to think about the details of our climate risk appetite. So how much carbon emissions do we want in our lending and investment portfolio? How do we set that? Do we set an absolute target emission, an intensity emission? Do we specify it by industry sector, by geography? These are some of the things that we're thinking about as we move towards a net zero target.
If there's one wish you want to note down for the COP26, it's your chance now.
A bit random, but hey.
How does we move the whole?
How do we move the whole economy towards impact?
That's a good question. Hopefully find the answer.
I hope so. I mean, the Holy Grail.
How do we move the whole economy towards impact? Will we sort out that question? And what are your thoughts?